What's up, AnimeBallZ fans? Ray here with another exciting episode of What's New Japan. Now, I'm going to take a brief break and apologize for the lack of updates last week. I can't speak for everyone else, but I was not able to record my session last week because I was coming down from con fever. We just had Oz Comic Con on the weekend. I was still recovering from the fact that we got to meet and interview Todd Haberkorn, Chris Sabat, and Eric Vale, which, by the way, all of you should watch those interviews. They were awesome. But yeah, I was a bit sick, so I wasn't able to record. But that was last week. This is this week. You're here for What's New Japan, hopefully. Anyway, trying to keep the format from my last video. What's New Japan? I talk about animes coming out in Japan. You listen to me talk about the animes that come out in Japan. Then you check out the animes that are coming out from Japan. Hopefully you like them. That being said, let's get going. First anime I have for you this week is called Kingdom. It's set in the Warring States period of ancient China, which, for those of you who are history buffs, should know that it's between 475 and 221 BC. Anyway, the two main characters are named Shin and Hyo. I've probably mispronounced that, but I'm going to keep going. And they are war orphans in the kingdom of Qin. Again, probably mispronounced that. Anyway, they dream of one day proving themselves on the battlefield. But one day, Hugh is taken to the palace by a minister. Winding up on the losing side of a power struggle, Hyo manages to return to the village, barely alive. Shin then meets a boy who closely resembles Hugh, whose name is IC. I see what you did there. Anyway, for now he is the king of Qin. Later, he will become the emperor known as Xu Huangdi. I've probably butchered several words in that synopsis, but it still sounds interesting. I highly recommend that you guys check this out. Next up on my list is an anime called La Storia della Arcana Famiglia. Sounds Italian, which would explain why I can't pronounce it. But this is supposed to be Japanese. Anyway, looks really interesting. Just listen to this synopsis. Arcana Famiglia. Yeah, I don't know how to pronounce that, sorry. But they're a self-appointed organization with mysterious powers that has protected a small Mediterranean island from pirates, foreign countries, and other threats. The only daughter of the family's papa, Felicia, I assume that's the name of the daughter, not the family's papa. Anyway, she's going to be married to the next head of the family in 2 months, and the successor, and I assume her husband, will be decided in a competition that Felicia herself will take part in. Don't know what's going to happen if she happens to win, but that should be absolutely hilarious. Looking at the picture, it looks like a serious sort of Yu Yu Hakusho sort of style. So yeah, if you were a fan of Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and that anime that just recently got cancelled, you should probably check this one out because it looks really interesting. Finally on my list for this week is an anime that looks sort of girly, so I thought I'd try and expand the amount of genres that I present to you by doing this one. Anyway, it's named Kono Naka ni Hitori Imoto ga Iru. I really need to work on my Japanese pronunciation. Anyway, the main character's name is Shogo, and abiding by his father's will, he was transferred into an academy where many young girls attend. It appears as though his younger sister, separated from him at birth, also attends this academy, and that she is trying to get closer to him without letting him know who she actually is. The problem is, Shogo seems to be popular with the other girls as well. Can Shogo properly reunite with his little sister and make a girlfriend at the same time? I apologize. I really should actually read the synopsis of these animes before I talk to you about them, because this does not sound like a girly anime whatsoever. But it still looks interesting. Just check it out, please. If you don't, Criddle's going to fire me. So at the end of another week of What's New Japan, I've told you about an anime that involves a guy trying to reunite with his little sister. I've told you about an anime set in the Warring States period of China, and I've told you about an anime that involves a mysterious organization with mysterious powers and a tournament with some sort of girl. Anyway, this is usually the point where I talk to you about Oz Comic Con, telling you to go check it out when it finally hits Melbourne. But it already hit Melbourne, so instead I'm going to tell you about Oz Comic Con and tell you to check out the interviews that we managed to get with Chris Sabat, Eric Vale, and Todd Happercorn. They are all awesome people. Criddle will definitely agree with me that Eric Vale is absolutely awesome, mainly because he kept getting called out by Eric Vale everywhere he went. Anyway, if you went to Oz Comic Con, you will agree with me, it was absolutely epic. If you didn't, you're going to be disappointed that you missed out. But that's an argument for another time. My name's Ray. This has been another wonderful episode of What's New Japan. Catch you on the flip side.